cat. It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I hope you guys miss me. I haven't been doing this. Now, part of that, a lot of that is that I've moved. This is my new permanent location to shoot my videos. Hanging out with Susie, my girlfriend, and we're having a good time together. And we took a trip to England. Of course, gone for 3 weeks. I was going to take my camera there. Should have probably done that, but packing and bringing stuff, it can get quite complicated. So I thought, well, let's not do it this time. But next time I travel, I will bring my camera with me. Had a great time in England. Got to go to southern England, Surrey area. Went to a really cool winery. I think it's called Densby's. Anyway, they make great sparkling wine there, as they do. And kind of a curious thing that came up there was that the lady at the tasting room said that chateaus from Champagne are now seeking property in this area because of the chalky soil. It's perfect for producing sparkling wine. So, kind of an interesting little fun fact there. Also went to Champagne, got to tour Tate and Jay. Shout out to Sophie, who was a great tour guide, took us in and tasted us through their stuff. What a fantastic thing. First time for me to go through a cave there. Susie and I are planning on going back to Champagne. We stayed at a great chateau, Étoges area, I think kind of northwest of Epernay. Anyway, it's a really fun trip. Had a good time. Don't want to waste time doing that. I'm going to be asking for more comments. Just a shout out again to Mike H. Won't say your last name, Mike, just in case you're shy about that. But this friend of mine, he goes to all my tastings that I put up and put on, and he makes a lot of comments on this. He watches the videos. I really appreciate it. I know a lot of you do, but I'm going to start asking some questions. I have to do some real good traction here on my YouTube. This is tough, really is. It's hard to get things going on YouTube. You can throw out all the videos you want, but you got to work it. And that's my goal for 2017, is to work it and to work you guys to make comments. Those of you who watch, who know me, if I ask a question, I'd love a comment. It just helps me to see where I need to go in the direction of the video. So I'll come up with something, I don't want to, I'll keep working on that. But today, very excited about this because these are three white wines that I have never tried before. They're grapes that only one of them I've actually heard of. And as long as I've been in the wine business, as long as I've been in the biz, it's amazing how many times you can run across a grape varietal that you've never heard of. There's so many of them out there. Italy alone, it would be almost an impossible task to memorize all the grape varieties in Italy. And I have no desire, really have no desire to do that personally, but it would be very, very difficult. I'm sure there's somebody, a brainium out there that could do it. I'm not that person. Not me. Okay, let's get started right away. I want to keep these videos a little bit shorter in 2017 also, just because I know you guys, your time's valuable, you have things to do, then sit there and look at me talk about wine. But the purpose of these videos is to help you spend your dollars in a wise way. I'm going to say that all of these run at $9, okay? And I have no idea the order in which they should go. I don't know. But I'm going to try starting off with this one. It is Tria Winery Insolia. That is the name of the grape, Insolia, from Sicily. Terra Siciliani is the IGP. And like I said, this rolls in at $9. And guess what? There you go. The thing I like about this setup here is I don't have to zoom, which, helps you not to screw up, which I'm able to do many times. So Insolia is the grape. How many of you out there have heard of Insolia? This is my first time. Now, you may have heard of Marsala. I'm sure many of you had heard of Marsala. A lot of you use it for cooking. This is one of the grapes in Solia, there it is, that they use to produce Marsala. Not very often is it produced by itself as a single varietal, but here we go. First time ever for me. I'm excited about this. Let's see what we get on the nose. Kind of nutty. I get a real nutty characteristic to it. Kind of like I'm getting a little bit of pear and peach and nuts, if you can picture that. Not extremely aromatic, but certainly not restrained, so that's good. By the way, do you like this setup? Okay. So, got the bar, the bookshelf. I like this. I like this set because I can stay close to the camera, and yeah, just like it. Do you like it? Yeah, the peaches come through. A little bit of pear and a little bit of nuts. Let's see what we get on the palate. Not super excited about this wine, kind of boring. I use that term a lot. That means, you know, it's not very interesting. If you've been around a boring person, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're like, oh, God. You know, you feel like you're going to go to sleep when they're talking to you. You can almost go to sleep drinking this wine. I mean, it's pretty boring. I get a peach element that comes through, a little bit of pear. Kind of an interesting floral component coming through. I'm not exactly sure if I can peg the flower that's coming through, but there's definitely a floral element, a little bit of peach, a little bit of pear, but overall just kind of boring, kind of dull. You know, it's like a lot of you aren't going to, you know, slosh it around in your mouth like I do. Although I recommend that you try that when you're by yourself. You may not want to do it in front of people. It's fresh. It's a little steely on the finish, but there's not a lot going on. It's kind of like vanilla ice cream. You know, a lot of people like vanilla ice cream. Don't get me wrong, but it's like that generic vanilla ice cream, like Lucerne from Safeway or Western Family or one of those. You know, it's just not the real deal necessarily. Sorry, guys. You know what I'm talking about. You can relate. You can relate. It's like eating Brock's candy versus C's candies. You know, there's a difference. You can taste it. Okay? Anyway. The problem with the blending grape, they blend this with Marsala, is they tend to be not as good singularly as they are blended. And in this case, that's true. It has some acid, not a lot of acidity, but enough to keep it interesting. You know, I'm going to go C-. I think it's there's nothing wrong with it. If you wanted it with seafood, it'd be perfect. Prawns, shrimp, clams. It would be nice. It'd be good. Toss it in there, stir up your clams. But overall, just kind of boring. It's only $9 though. So if you want to go out and, you know, blow $9, so you can taste a Insolia from Tria, you know, knock yourself out. You're not going to feel bad about it. It's just a C- wine. Let's move on. I'm going to go with the next one here. This is Tria Catarrado. Now, I've had a Catarrado a long time ago. That is the name of grape, another blending grape for Marsala. Oh, yeah, that's okay. This is also Terra Siciliani, or Sicily, and this rolls in at $9 also. Catarrado. Can you read that? Hopefully you can. Let's give a little rinse here. Again, I'm curious how this is going to turn out. Like I said, the last one, you know, you're not going to, for $9, I don't know, maybe it's worth the experiment. But don't expect any fantastic things out of that wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. Entirely different. This actually has a very, very faint smell of a soap. Some kind of, maybe a fancy soap in the shower. You know, one of those ones that come on a string, you know, or, you know, is shaped like a seashell, something like that. But aromatically, not much there. Let's see what we get on the palate. A little more interesting. That's kind of curious. Better nose, better on the palate. Right off the bat, I got like this lime element, like a kind of a kiwi lime thing. And then it graduated into almost like peach skin thing going on. A little bit of apple. I'm definitely getting like a bit into a Granny Smith apple. I'm kind of a sucker for lemon lime and apple combined. This is way more interesting in a lot of ways. It has a little bit better acidity. It has a better flavor in the mouth, more interesting. I'm not saying it's going to wow your palate, but if you've never tried a Colorado, I would say this would be a good place to start. Actually, both of these would be interesting for you if you wanted to venture into just, you know, expand your palate horizons. I mean, there's a lot of you out there that I know like to try new things. The two bottles together would be $18, and certainly that's not a lot of money. You can go out and blow $25 on a bottle of wine easily, $50 easily, so 2 bottles for $18. I didn't have to buy them though, so there you go. They're samples that were given to me to try, which I do here because I'm in the biz, you know. I work in a grocery store. They want their product in the store. They want me to try them. So, you know, gives me good fodder for my YouTube channel. I have bought wines. However, I have bought wines. In fact, if you remember back, not last year, I actually busted open my Crazy Mary Mourvedre from Mark Ryan. I can't believe I did that. But anyway, I bought another bottle to replace it. Back to this wine. Colorado. Lemon lime zest, apple, good acidity, nice and fresh on the palate. Great seafood wine. It's still lingering on my palate. I'm going to go C+, B- on this wine. I think it's worthy of trying. I might have to bring some into the store. By the way, if you're in my area, San Juan Islands, I'm out here at Roach Harbor, but I work in town. If you're in the area and you want to stop by the store and you want to try one of these wines, and I don't carry it at the store, I will get it for you. Promise. I can do that. I know where these guys came from, and I will do that for you. Yeah, much more interesting. C+, B-. Move on. Okay, this is the Bergi Calura Zabibo. I hope I'm saying that right. Also from Terra Siciliano. This is known in most areas as Alexandria Muscat. So it's from the Muscat grape family. There's the label. Rolls in at $9. And it's interesting when you read up on Alexandria Muscat. They make some really famous dessert wines with this. Portugal does a really nice one. Spain does a good one. They use it in Muscat sherry. But it's also used quite prominently for table grapes. It makes a very good table grape, and they make raisins out of it. Well, here they made it into a single varietal. A lot of times they blend it with Pinot Grigio, and it makes a really nice blend because they complement each other. This one does not have Pinot Grigio on it. It's a straight up Zabibo varietal. So, curious about this one. Now you may have, like Setable does a really good Alexandria Muscat dessert wine. And you've probably had one before. That's what this grape is. But in Italy, they call it Zabibo. Yeah, that's why a lot of people are intimidated about wine, because of these differences in names in different countries and all that. And a lot of people just don't want to take the time to Google it and find out what it's all about. They just want to make sure they get a good bottle of wine. That's really what it's all about. But for those of you who want to experiment, it's kind of cool. Let's see what we get on the nose. Wow. Again, this is almost like roasted nuts. Like you took some peanuts and you put them on the Barbie. A little bit of, like barbecued apricots and peaches. Like you cut them in half and just flipped them on the grill real quick. A lot of people like that. There's almost a lavender component coming through. Kind of interesting on the nose. I'm curious what we're going to get on the palate with this one. Let's see what we get on the palate. This has a lot. This has enough going on to keep me very interested. I definitely get the peach apricot thing on the back end. And there's just like toastiness to it that's kind of peculiar to me. I think more than toasty, it's like those peaches and apricots together with a little bit of a nuttiness coming through, and that peach element kind of, and then there's a perfume component that comes through when you start swirling oxygen through your mouth. There's definitely a perfume component that comes through that's quite interesting. This isn't bad. It's interesting. I always like interesting wines. Do you like your wines to be interesting, or do you just want to pop and pour and talk to your friends and not think about it? Well, that's okay. I mean, there are times that I do that myself. And have you ever noticed, though, that sometimes you'll do that? You'll buy a wine you haven't tried before, and you pop it, you pour it, you start talking to your friends, all of a sudden you go, it's kind of interesting. And see that? Let that lock into your brain. That's a cool thing about wine. You can do that, and all of a sudden you go, wow, there's something there. And then you start thinking about, well, what is it? Well, this has peaches. It has apricots. See, that floral component comes through. I'm not gonna, and good acidity right on the back end. It really freshes up, gets a little grippy, not grippy, clean, kind of acid, makes your mouth water a little bit. That's always cool. I like that. I'm gonna go straight up B- on this wine. B- hedging towards B. I think it's a very interesting wine. I think it has a lot of stuff that's going on. I think you would like it. I get a little grassiness on the back end. Don't let that throw you off. Just barely kind of hangs on the very, very back end of the palate. But I'm still tasting it, which is always a really a good clue that it's a good wine. There you go. I'm settled in. I'm ready to go. I'm done with the vacation. I'm ready to get back at it. I'm going to try and do at least three videos a week. I think that's enough. I used to think I'd do it every day, but you know what? I don't think you guys want to see this ugly mug every day. But you can tell me, is 3 a good number to go for? Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, somewhere around there. Maybe I'm not going to stick to my guns on that because, life is full of unexpected things. But what do you think? Do you think 3 is too many? You think it's enough? You want me to do more? Are you enjoying these? Are you learning anything? Comment, because those comments help me to see what direction I need to go. There you go. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.
Hey, Dad. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I just left the studio. Here we are in Harlem. Everybody's here but the police, and they'll be here anyway. It's high time. So catch the song. Here it is.